Oh my god, it's Super Mario Bros. 2. Such a scandalous game. This game's reputation has kind of fallen within the past 15 years. Ever since people discovered that this was not originally Super Mario Bros. 2. But I'm not going to go through the entire history. There are better resources than me for that. I recommend a site called themushroomkingdom.net. The summary of that is basically a game was released called Doki Doki Panic. It was kind of released by Nintendo for Fuji TV, I believe, to kind of promote its mascots or something. And when Nintendo was not going to release the original Super Mario Bros. 2, which was a harder version of Super Mario Bros., they reskinned Doki Doki Panic, and you got this game. Now, of course, I have tried the original Doki Doki Panic using emulation, and I can tell you that there's one fault with that game. You cannot run at all. Basically, you walk. That slows the game down, especially when you are used to this version. Now that we got that out of the way, this is my second playthrough. It's Super Mario Bros. 2. Now, I listened to my original commentary for the first game, and I realized I talk too fast. When I talk too fast, I don't pronounce my words properly, and I mumble more. So I'm going to attempt to talk slower and pronounce my words better. Obviously at this point, neither videos have been uploaded yet, though my channel has been created. This is also another post-gameplay commentary. I played the game and now I am recording my commentary for it separately. I have one more game in which I will do this, and then hopefully I can start doing live commentaries. That's what I like to call it, live commentaries. I actually decided to do something different for this game, for this playthrough. I am only going to use Toad. Now, Toad has the advantage of being faster, and he picks up items faster as well. He, however, has the lowest jumping height. This makes the game a little bit harder in certain areas, though he's great for digging through sand, because Luigi and Peach are the slowest, though they have better jumps. But when you get to the sand levels, they're not as good. To continue a bit more with this game's reputation, I was watching the Screw Attack top 10 worst games of the Super Mario Bros. Series, though that was a questionable list because most games were not directly involving Nintendo, except for this one they put at number 10, and the exact reason being because it was not originally a Mario game, apparently. Of course, that doesn't really matter anymore, because this has been released in Japan called Super Mario USA, and it seems to be more popular than Doki Doki Panic, though don't quote me on that. Considering it's been re-released multiple times, it's definitely a popular Mario game. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was one of the most popular games of its time, before Super Mario Bros. 3 came out. So far, my gameplay's not too bad. I may have, gotten hit occasionally, but I haven't died yet. Like, that was kind of an odd hit. Though, there will be one point later where I'll constantly die because I was being an idiot again. This is what Toad's good for. You can easily pick up these coins very quickly. That way you can get more lives. Though the slot machine is very heavily based on chance. It's very rare to actually be able to time things good. Not impossible, but difficult. You know, I've never actually gotten 3 cherries. I've gotten 2 cherries before. And of course, because the way NES technology works, they can only have so many digits, I guess, in the counter. So when you go above 9, it turns into letters instead. They could even put in 1 and 0 next to each other. But it wouldn't be the first NES game to do that. Though you can have more than 9 lives, and it'll actually appear in numbers. Early on in the game, I actually know where most of the mushrooms are located, but around halfway through to the end, they become a bit more difficult to find because you actually have to travel further away from where you find the potion. Personally, I like the idea of being able to throw in this game. I don't know why people hate it so much. It actually adds a lot of variety. I see for this mushroom here, I had to actually go backwards. The only problem is I am using Toad, and even when I charge my jump, I can't actually get up there. So that was kind of useless, waste of time. Continuing on with the theme of Super Mario Bros. 2 being different, it's kind of funny that during this time period, a lot of games' sequels were actually different from their predecessor. Castlevania 2 tried... hold on a sec, I couldn't quite get up this rope. Yeah. But yeah, Castlevania 2 was actually different from its predecessor. Zelda 2 was different from its predecessor. It was nice for companies to experiment at this time because many people, when they had a sequel, probably didn't know what to expect to begin with. So the fact that we didn't get a game that was exactly like Super Mario Bros. 2 probably helped the popularity of this game, because the North American market was most likely different from Japan. I mean, who would want to buy a game that was exactly like the first one at this point? I mean, let's face it, the video game market was completely different at this time. People probably didn't want to buy the exact same game twice. Even when we look at some arcade games, they really tried to be different. I mean, Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr., though similar in maybe gameplay mechanics, are completely different in level design and how they implement the game mechanics. I mean, in the original Donkey Kong, you would just climb up ladders and hit baddies with a hammer if you got it. While in Donkey Kong Jr., you were basically mostly climbing up vines, and the only way to hit baddies was from dropping fruit. It's not like the way things are today, where you can just mindlessly release a sequel that's exactly the same. I mean, look how many sports games we get that are the same, but people keep buying them. And now we meet Bowser. You know, he was actually in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, which was really based off of Super Mario Bros. 2, actually. That just shows you the popularity of this game. the first show we had in North America based off of Mario was completely influenced, basically, by this game. It's funny that Bowser would actually never make another appearance after this. You know, it's actually a pretty decent boss. He throws bombs at you, and you have to place them back at him. But for some reason, out of all the enemies in this game that they've reused, Bowser never made a reappearance. But I remember he was heavily in the show. These days you have Shy Guys. Not really Sniffets though, sometimes, but they don't actually appear as often. But Shy Guys appear quite often. The bombs, obviously. Those cactus-like things, like they became, I can't remember what they're called, but they're in Super Mario World, and you can use Yoshi to, you know, eat them up. And I like to do where I try to eat as much of their heads as possible in one shot. These guys are annoying. These plants that spit fire at you. The worst ones are the ones that shoot them straight up, and you have to try and jump through them, and sometimes they don't really give you much of leeway. This is where Toad's good for, especially, because he can dig slightly faster than the others. And these levels, let's face it, they're annoying. It's just mindless digging while you're trying to escape enemies, though occasionally you can get a star to help you get rid of the enemies. Then these Sniffets just come out and shoot at you. They're not that difficult to get through though. Slide down the long ladder. Birdo's also another reoccurring character, though they've kind of been ambiguous on his or her personality, if you want to call it that. Because originally Birdo was described as sort of a transvestite, basically a guy who thinks it's a girl. But they seem to have gone more with the fact that Birdo is a girl now. I thought I remember reading that in the instruction booklet for the North American localization, they may have gotten rid of that little trait of Birdo. Though I don't have the manual on me to verify this, someone might have to confirm that for me. So far Toad hasn't been too bad. I mean, the jumps, or the lack of jumping, is kind of that was stupid. I tried to throw it up on the platform, but I ended up running into it anyways. But Toad's jumping ability has kind of been lacking. I will admit, for a long time, I would mainly use Luigi. I am guilty of that. Because let's face it, it's really fun to jump with Luigi. He can get you to places that most other characters can't. It's always annoying when you get the star where there's no enemies, because it just feels like a waste. Like here there are enemies, but if there weren't, it would have felt more of a waste. It's always fun when you hit multiple enemies at once. Or you throw one of your veggies, you run while it kills the enemies, and you're able to catch the veggie again and reuse it. That's a fun thing. Little things like that make the gameplay more fun. So I don't see why people complain about this game. It's not that it's bad, it's just that they're idiots. I'll just say they're idiots. They just like to complain. I find gamers are actually some of the most whiny people that exist. Companies can do anything to cater to them and they'll still complain. This is a good point to get the star. They always seem to give you a lot of cherries in these areas. Which is good, I'm not going to complain. Red Birdo shoots fire at you on occasion. See, with Luigi that would have been easy to do. So when you get to Green Birdo, that it no longer shoots eggs. Even the later Birdos that don't shoot eggs at you, they're not particularly hard. Because the pattern is very easy to follow. It's just shoot roughly 3 times, and then you have a chance to hit it. Three stars, that's good. Almost had a third, sniff it there. I know some of these levels have shortcuts, like even the first one, World 1-1 had a shortcut when you entered the cave, but I decided not to use those for this playthrough. I figured just play through the entire game. There are also warps, but I don't really use them in this game. Alright, this part's annoying with Toad. Well, it's annoying with any character in general. Yeah, try and jump on those. Don't remember what they're called off the top of my head. Let's just call them flying guys. Fly guys. How about that? See, I got up, but then around here, you gotta try and get on that platform with the door. Which doesn't sound too hard, but when they continuously fly when you're trying to jump, it kind of ruins your momentum. Plus, if you jump too high, you'll land on top. Of course, one of the times I missed it, I was just kind of slipping around and fell off myself. More coins to get more lives. See, these guys, they kind of make, I think they're called Pokies, maybe. I'm gonna have to check that out. But they do return in Super Mario World. They just look yellow instead of green. More digging. Truthfully, even with Toad, it's just not fun to dig. It takes forever. But at least they give you plenty of chances to get stars. Makes it slightly more bearable. At least I killed him. And then of course you gotta jump up while trying to avoid that mask. Again, I don't remember all the names off the top of my head. We'll see them at the credits though. More sand, though it's really optional at this point. If you want to get another star for the heck of it, maybe you can dig. I'm thinking of splitting this video into 2 parts, because it seems like it's a good almost hour and a half, and that feels like a long video to upload. Maybe 45 minutes each would be good. think Triclops it's called, this enemy. I just like to build a little wall to block its fire and then just toss these mushroom things at them. Not a particularly difficult boss. See, 3 hits and it's dead. I just like to get these slot machines over with. If I get a life, that's good. If not, oh well. I'm not gonna bother timing every single turn at the machine. I would if I was desperate for lives, but I got 7 at this point, so it's not like I'm in danger of getting game over at this point. I don't remember why that took me long to choose. Kind of an aesthetic change from Doki Doki Panic was the waterfall runs faster. They slowed it down for this game, which I can't understand. I mean, would you really want to watch the waterfall going around 3 times faster when it takes up the entire screen? See, the only gameplay difference really is the addition of a run button. But other than that, all the other changes were basically aesthetic. I got hit by that one stray one I didn't see. The only other real difference is that to truly beat Doki Doki Panic, because it used the RAM of the disk system to save your progress, was that you had to use every single character to play through. And once you chose a character, you had to play through the entire game like that. Unlike here, where after every level you can basically change, because there's no requirement to use every single character. That's annoying. I figured just bite the bullet, get hit, and get out. That was an easy Birdo. Cherry in the first spot means automatic life. I guess they figured they'd give you a chance to get lives because matching 3 all the time would be difficult. I guess Cherry counts as kind of a wild card. Only if it's in the first slot. I don't know why I didn't even bother hitting him. And then I get trapped between 2 ostriches. I'll tell you one thing about some of my playthroughs, you're guaranteed to see a stupid death here or there. See, why did I even do that? At least I killed that other shy guy. I don't really know where this mushroom was. I thought maybe it would be down below. Now, this is also something Toad's good for. If you get a bomb up there, you can run down really fast with it. Again, with Luigi, that would have been super easy to do. But with Toad, all jumping requires extra effort. If you don't remember this one, it's basically a guessing game. Luckily I guessed right. But I didn't get the coins because I wasted the vegetables. See, if I got the other one I would have missed a mushroom. And they only give you one chance to do it. Actually, some of the music is also different from Doki Doki Panic in this game. Since it's an Arabian-styled game, there was a lot of Arabian-style music. Also, obviously, there wasn't the inclusion of the Super Mario Bros. Theme in the areas with the mushrooms. Now Albatross is dropping bombs. I don't think they're too bad in this area, but some points later, they kind of swamp you with them. I don't know what I really did there. Doesn't even help because they returned. This part's not really that bad, you just gotta continuously jump up till you get all the way up. And of course they give you a shorter platform, and you saw it hit me. But I don't know why they put the two up there. It's not like they could even get to you. Pattern here is actually very annoying. It always seems to go where I am. Because then I remembered you could just throw the key to get rid of him temporarily. I'm only going back here to show something quickly. Of course, it'll take a while to get up there. The interesting thing about this game, that's the only red Sniffet, and I just killed it. They are now extinct. Don't know why there's only one red Sniffet. In case you're not familiar with the game or you're unaware for some reason, pink enemies go back and forth between edges while red enemies fall off. Seems kind of odd that that's the only place. That was stupid. I just stood there waiting for my own death. Wouldn't be the first time. I just hate these areas where all these electrical guys are just going around, especially with Toad, because he really can't jump high. Normally Luigi will be able to get out of here quickly. And again, I fell off the ladder to a dead end. That was fun. That guy came out of nowhere. And of course I get hit on the rope. Stupid when the Sniffet's little bullets hit you after they hit a wall. I foresee a death coming here. There's no way I survive. Yep, I jumped right into him. At least the star helps me out here a little bit. Crystal ball with no fight. But of course I gotta fight a boss. Another Mauser. That was a pathetic one. But I think they did put the platform a bit higher this time, so if I don't jump high enough, I can't actually place the bomb up there. Plus they added one of those dudes going around. Didn't get a single coin. Guess there just wasn't that many opportunities, or I was just not caring about it. What's your typical game without ice? Many NES games had that just so they can have a level where you slip around. A little bit further I wouldn't have gotten that mushroom. I guess technically I am at the halfway point here, because there's only 7 worlds, and the 7th world only has 2 levels. So it's kind of an odd numbered amount of levels in this game. Well, I guess technically I'd be a bit past the halfway point actually. One of the few areas without Birdo that's not in the third level of the world. I mean, this is the first part of the world. And instead it just got Shy Guys riding those things. Fire cannons. I don't know, maybe if I should eventually make more playthroughs with just the other characters, but probably with no commentary, because what's the point of commentating 3 other times on this game? Once you memorize these guys' patterns, it's pretty easy to do. I just like to slide around. Then suddenly, whales with blowholes. And the blowholes are technically enemies because they can't hurt you. Luckily, I don't run into one. But if you use a star, you technically kill it. Technically a good place to get coins. There is a warp in this level too, I believe. It's gonna be kind of a vase on a whale. If you use the potion to get to the other world, you go into it and you'll warp. I don't remember to which level though. I think it's 6-1 maybe. I don't remember though. I don't use them that often. There it is. Okay, it's not on the whale, it's on a piece of land. You still gotta go on top of the whale to get to it. Picked it up too prematurely because if I rode across with it, I'd get a mushroom. And then of course I get hit because I forgot it was gonna come down too. This is actually a long level. I killed the Birdo with a star. I think that's actually the first time I ever had that happen. It's really hard to time stars to fight Birdos, but when it happens, just one shot. This is an interesting part because they put a Birdo outside of the boss area. Sometimes these mushrooms just are obvious because you know something suspicious about how it looks. But there's a reason for this Birdo being here. You have to use its egg to fly across. It's actually an interesting concept. I wonder how many people actually fought the Birdo initially and got trapped. What you are experiencing is a temporary distortion of reality. When this happened, I was afraid. I thought, why is this happening? I was afraid I was going to lose my entire playthrough up to this point. Because I mean, I have a new connector in my NES, and I cleaned my games, so I don't know why that happened. I made a stupid decision of picking up the potion. Granted, I don't think that would have been possible with Toad. You have to go all the way up on top and then jump across. And you can't do a high jump with Toad without dropping an item. So I figure it's just impossible to do with Toad. I'm not throwing the keys as often as I normally do. Usually I just keep tossing them until I get to my destination. Of course there I kind of tossed it when I was there. Now we're at another one-time only boss, Fry Guy. This guy is not difficult at all. He just flies in a very predictable pattern, shooting fire down, which mostly doesn't get in your way because you can just stay above him the entire time. I guess in a sense the most annoying part is when you kill this phase of him and then he becomes those smaller Fry Guys. And then they jump around. It's not the most difficult thing, but it's just annoying with anything small that jumps around. Once again, no coins. Two more levels after this. And as I said, since there's only 2 in World 7, it kind of shortens the game a bit. I think here I die a lot. I couldn't make precision jumping for some reason. That won't be the only death. Of course there's no mushroom here. See, I jump here, and then I hit him and miss. I guess get ready, there's gonna be at least 2 to 3 more deaths. Again, I thought there was a yeah, I wasn't thinking clear at this point. And then I die. At this point I thought to myself, I need those coins. Alright, I made it through the first bunch of fish. And then I die here. I was doing bad. Once again, I get more coins. Man, I hope that's the last death, but I don't think it is. I don't know if it's because he doesn't jump as high and for as long, so you have to kind of make your jump very quickly and be precise on the first try. Luckily, that's over with.